I am Dark Winter, and in this video I'm going to show you how I made my track Night at Hogsmeade that was released by Lo-Fi Girl. All sounds that I used from this video come from a pack called Euphoria. The pack includes CM presets, drums, drum loops, one-shots and a lot of ambience. To check out our pack, click the first link from the description. And don't forget to use code DARKWINTER for 15% off your purchase. So before hopping on to FL Studio, I want to give you some backstory on how this track was made. So last July, Sheath sent me this idea and he said that this is something I made last year but never completed. For the first time when I heard the idea, I thought, okay, it's pretty decent. We can add a lot of melodies to this and make it into a proper track. So the same day, around midnight, I sent this idea back and I said that I tried something. So I'm going to show you the initial idea of what I sent and how it sounds like. So this is the idea that she'd sent in. This is without my addition. This is what he sent me. So let me show you what I actually added to it and how it sounds like. Then in the second half of the drop, I changed the melody a bit and this is what I sent him back. Then after that, on 2nd of August 2024, I asked Sheath, could he work on this idea for the Lo-Fi Girl compilation? For the next 20 days, I didn't get any reply. Then on the 29th of August, Sheath replied, let's work on this. I asked him how much time do we have and he said that we have a maximum of 2 whole days. So the deadline was on 31st midnight and he gave me the stems at around, so you say 29th evening. So I had around a day and a half to finish the entire track. So he sent me the stems, I added my stuff and I'm going to show you how that sounds first. This is the song that Sheath had sent me. First I'm going to show you how it sounds like without my addition. And now this is the track with my changes on. So let's hop on to each and every individual element that I added to the track. Up first I added the Theramin from the first of the track. It's the same melody, it sounds something like this. I have used Nexus 5 for this and the lead that I've used is called the Theramin. As for processing, I haven't done anything to this. And while writing the melody, I have drawn some automations over here if you can see. This is so that the melody sounds human and when it transitions between one note to another, it fades a bit. Otherwise, it's very harsh to the ears. Then the second thing that I added to the track were these laughs and screams which sound something like this. These things have been sprinkled over the track. The laugh comes from YouTube. The vocal thing comes from Serum from one of our packs called Euphoria. You can go check it out from the link below and use code DARKWINTER for 15% off your purchase. I have used a preset called Lead Spooky Voice which sounds something like this. Then the next thing that I added was this woman screaming. This comes from Nexus and I've used the woman scream from the Halloween expansion. As for processing, I haven't done anything to it. Then the next thing that I added to the track were these crashes. I've done that so that whenever the drop hits, it gives the track a small impact. First without the crashes. Now with the crashes. The next thing that I added was the bell in the break. So first I will show you without the melody. This is what the break sounds like. Now with my melody. I did this because the break felt a bit empty and I wanted something that reminds the listener that it's a Halloween track. So to do that, I've used the preset called Symmetron Chimes Dreamland. It comes from Keyscape and I have just reduced the reverb from this. And as for processing, I've just removed the lows from it. That's the only thing that I've done. The next thing that I added to the track was to replace the synth melody which sounds something like this. So it's a bit harsh. So to replace that, I've used an organ with the same melody which sounds something like this. This organ comes from Nexus. For the processing, I've just added an amp modifier with an attack to it. So without the attack, this is what it sounds like. Now with the amp mod, the attack was clashing with the kick, which was very horrible. As for processing, I have just added an EQ to cut out the lows and just tame the highs a bit. And again, from the Theramin, I've used a volume automation between each notes so that to make it sound human. The next thing that I added to the track was the sweeps. These come from our pack called Euphoria. Don't forget to check it out from the link below and use code Dark Winter for 15% off your purchase. This is what they sound like. I spread it throughout the entire track to give a small transition. The next thing that I added to the track were these pads. This is like a spooky airy pad that comes from arcade and I've used it in a lot of Halloween tracks of mine. This comes from the line called Nightmare and the preset is called Inverted Reality. In this I have just used the root note that is C and the fifth that is the G. That's it. As for processing, I haven't done anything. So just for the final touches, I've added this automation in for the xylophone and the ARP. I've done this because when the organ is playing and the leads are playing, the xylophone and the ARP were a bit too loud. And to prevent any mix clashes, I've just used a volume automation using Fruity Balance. So I want to show you how it sounds like. This is without the volume automation. Now this is with the volume automation. Then I added the same volume automation for the Theramin when the organ plays. The final thing that I did to the track before sending it out to Sheath was add a fade out to the entire track so that it just smoothly just goes to silence. So this is what it sounds like. It's just a simple fade out, nothing much. As for mixing, I haven't done anything to the track in my honest opinion. I just sent out these stems because we only had a day and a half for the track to be finished and she did the rest of the mixing and mastering and sent it out to Lo-Fi Girl. So I want to show you how the final track sounds like and here we go. We sent this song in to Lo-Fi Girl at around 31st. Honest, we had zero expectation. I'm not joking, on the 4th of September, he said, got selected. And I swear to God, I was going to cry at that moment because it was unbelievable. Like, getting on Lo-Fi Girl was one of my dreams. I just couldn't believe it. I've written that over here also. So yeah, this is a story on how I got on Lo-Fi Girl. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to check out Euphoria and use code Dark Winter for 15% off at checkout.